Part 118. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1171. Zhang Chen did not stay at Huihuan's shop for dinner. First, he felt that the matter was done and there was no need for him to stay here anymore. Staying here seemed like he had to continue to demand Huihuan's thanks, which was too boring. Second, he thought that in the cafeteria of Sanbao factory, Lao Fu and the others started making stir-fry on the first day today. He wanted to go and see how it turned out. If he had already started making it, he wanted to order two to see how it tasted. Zhang Chen drove the car and turned to the small road to the factory. Before he reached the factory gate, his cell phone rang. Zhang Chen picked it up. It was Yao Fen. Yao Fen and Zhao Xian, one was going to Beijing and the other was going to Hong Kong to participate. At the two spring auctions held at the same time, Zhang Chen asked, "Are you back?" "Yes, Zhao Xian came last night, and I came back this morning," Yao Fen said. "How is it going?" Yao Fen did not answer how Zhang Chen was doing, but asked him, "Boss, do you have time now?" "What's the matter?" Zhang Chen asked. "We want to come over and report to you about the auction. We have bought all the works you asked for. However, this auction feels different from the past. There is a new trend that we want to report to you." "Just a moment," Yao Fen said. Zhang Chen said, "Okay, I'm in Sanbao factory, I'll come to the oil painting studio right away. By the way, you go next door and help me fry an egg fried rice, I haven't eaten lunch yet." "Should I add more eggs and pickled vegetables?" Yao Fen said with a smile. "Yes, you still understand me." Zhang Chen also smiled. The road here was not wide, so it was a bit troublesome for the car to turn around. Zhang Chen simply drove the car and turned into the factory. He pressed down the window. When he passed by the door of Zhao Zhigang's office, he saw Zhao Zhigang sitting there. Zhang Chen yelled a voice, "Zhao Zhigang!" When Zhao Zhigang heard Zhang Chen's shout, he stood up and ran out. He stood at the door and watched Zhang Chen's car enter the basketball court inside, then turned around and came out. Zhao Zhigang thought Zhang Chen would stop at the door of the office, but he didn't expect Zhang Chen to pass by him. When he passed by, he did not stop the car, but stretched out his hand and waved to him, "Bye." Zhao Zhigang froze there, watching Zhang Chen open the factory door and disappear. Zhao Zhigang cursed, "Crazy." He shook his head and walked back. Zhang Chen looked in the rearview mirror and saw Zhao Zhigang standing there stupidly, his eyes chasing his car. Zhang Chen couldn't help but laugh. Zhang Chen drove all the way to Genshin Power Plant, parked the car at the entrance of the Lakeside Oil Painting Gallery, walked into the oil painting gallery, went up to the second floor, and went directly to Yao Fen's office. When he entered the door, he called, "Yao Fen, egg fried rice." The egg fried rice is here, I'm starving to death." "What have you done to be so hungry?" As Yao Fen said this, she pointed to the coffee table. Zhang Chen saw that there was a plate of egg fried rice and a bowl of seaweed soup on the coffee table. "Going to do a good thing." Zhang Chen sat down, took a bite of egg fried rice, and then said vaguely to Yao Fen, "I'll eat it, you tell me. Then I'll call Zhao Xian over." Yao Fen said and walked out, and after a while, he walked back with Zhao Xian. The two people stood opposite the coffee table and were about to say something when Zhang Chen shouted, sit down, you guys are standing like this and I can't even eat." Yao Fen curled her lips and cursed, "Eating a bowl of egg fried rice is just such a gimmick." Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Don't underestimate this bowl of egg fried rice. This is egg fried rice with eggs and pickled vegetables. It's delicious." Yao Fen and Zhao Xian chuckled and sat down on the sofa next to them. Yao Fen asked, "Can we talk now?" Zhang Chen said yes. "This time, two of us went to an auction. Although we bought all the paintings you asked for according to the boss's wishes, the prices were higher than we expected. Moreover, we felt that domestic oil paintings the market has risen, Yao Fen said. How can you see it? Zhang Chen asked. The prices have gone up, Zhao Xian said. Boss, what you want are all contemporary oil painters, and the prices are not obvious. The prices of the works of old gentlemen are increasing rapidly. The one I went to had a painting by Lin Fengmian. The work, which is a sketch of 38 by 42, fetched 1.8 million. So high, Zhang Chen was surprised. Yes, at the one I went to, a painting by Pan Yuliang also sold for 1.52 million, Yao Fen said. Is this someone speculating? Zhang Chen said. Of course there are people speculating, but the price is very real and there are a lot of bids. It doesn't look like there is collusion, Yao Fen said. At the event I held in Hong Kong, the people holding the placards all seemed to be domestic buyers, Zhao Xian said. Is it because dead painters are more expensive? Zhang Chen asked. Including old gentlemen who are still alive, their works are now very expensive. An oil painting by Mr. Wu Guanzhong was sold for 1.23 million, and an oil painting by Mr. Wu Ziren was sold for 1.05 million. I think their two paintings are not as exciting as those in our collection, Zhao Xian said, especially the two paintings that Mr. Wu Guanzhong gave us. They can be said to be absolute masterpieces. Zhang Chen nodded and said, in my personal opinion, Mr. Wu Ziren's early paintings are indeed more beautiful than his later paintings. Also, I was in Beijing this time and communicated with their auction company. Their appraiser told me that for the works in our Riverside Oil Painting Museum collection, boss, guess what, the appraisal they gave. What's the price? Yao Fen asked. Are those albums from the old National Art College? Zhang Chen asked. Yao Fen nodded, yes. 10 million, Zhang Chen asked. Yao Fen shook his head. 20 million. Yao Fen still shook his head. How much is that? 20 million is not enough? Zhang Chen was curious. Yao Fen looked at him and said, put down your chopsticks. What? Zhang Chen was confused. I'm afraid you'll choke, Yao Fen said with a smile. Zhang Chen waved his hand and said, it's okay, don't choke. No matter what you say, you can't scare me. We are not selling anyway, and the price is meaningless to us. Okay, let me tell you, there are a total of 128 works in that album, and their estimated price is at least 130 million. Ah, Zhang Chen and Yao Fen said you can't scare me, but in fact they were still scared. He shouted, are you kidding me? Who are the people you meet? No kidding, they are all first-class appraisers. They said that if we wait until the autumn auction, the price will definitely be higher, Yao Fen said. But, how many of our collections are in that album? Zhang Chen asked. It only accounts for 1/8 of our old man's portion, Zhao Xian said. We have a total of 1,103 works by that group of painters, not counting sculptures. Zhang Chen felt a little dizzy. He looked at the two of them, and both of them smiled at him. Zhang Chen said, I'll go, that is to say. In other words, the value of our collection of these works alone should be around 1 billion. Yao Fen continued, boss, do you think this egg fried rice is no longer fragrant and should be replaced with a Manchu Han banquet? Zhao Xian laughed. Zhang Chen said, no, I'll still eat my egg fried rice. Again, we don't sell it anyway, and the price is meaningless to us. But it's meaningful to our oil painting gallery, and it's meaningful to the audience, Zhao Xian retorted. This increases the value of our gallery, and it's the same for the audience. Most of the audience, when they look at a painting, it still depends on how much he can sell. If a Picasso painting costs $10 a piece, no one will recognize him as a great painter. If his paintings are hung there, no one will probably look at them. Yes, it makes sense to exchange and exhibit with us. After all, the other party has to buy insurance for the exchanged works, and the exchanges are all equivalent. If we originally exchanged two works for one, now we will exchange one for each other. One picture is enough, Yao Fen said. Zhang Chen nodded and felt that what they said made sense. Even for him, it was actually different. Your collection of works is worth 10 million or 1 billion. Even if you don't sell it, the weight in your heart is still different. That is also very different. Although money is not the only criterion for measuring the value of a work, Zhao Xian is right. It is really an important criterion, especially now. By the way, what you said reminds me that the security measures of our oil painting museum must keep up with those of heroic children, Zhang Chen said. Yao Fen smiled and said, we have already made a plan, and I asked you to come and sign it. Yao Fen stood up, walked to his desk, took a document on the table, walked back and handed it to Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen looked at it and saw that it was a document to strengthen the security measures of the entire oil painting gallery, especially the warehouse. Plan, the total cost of the plan is more than 1.8 million. Zhang Chen smiled and said, so much. You two didn't mean to trick me with those words, and then received kickbacks from this company, right? Yao Fen and Zhao Xian both nodded. Zhao Xian said, boss, what should I do? You discovered me. Yao Fen shouted, oh, I will notify this company immediately and say the plan is invalid. As Yao Fen spoke, she pretended to make a call. Zhang Chen said, okay, after the call is over, bring me the pen. Yao Fen chuckled and didn't call. Instead, she brought a pen over and Zhang Chen signed the plan. Zhao Xian asked Zhang Chen, boss, how many people have you spent the most time with? I don't know. Zhang Chen shook his head, who is so boring? You want to be with money, and you can't eat money. Have you ever been with 10 million in cash? Zhao Xian continued to ask. Zhang Chen thought for a while and said, no, who has so much cash? Mr. Lu and his friends sell houses for hundreds of millions a day. They only use credit cards and don't have much cash. Where is 1 million? Zhao Xian asked reluctantly. Zhang Chen thought for a while and said, it seems there is none. It's boring, then why do you need so much money? Zhao Xian said, I sometimes think about how enjoyable it would be if I could take a photo with billionaire. Zhang Chen and Yao Fen laughed, and Zhang Chen cursed, you money addict, why don't you go to work in the banknote printing factory? Zhao Xian giggled, I just wanted to take a photo and have fun, so that's not okay. Okay, Zhang Chen said. He turned around and said to Yao Fen, give me a pen and paper. Yao Fen brought over a pen and paper. Zhang Chen pushed away the empty plate in front of him, spread the paper on the coffee table, wrote the word billion with a pen, handed it to Zhao Xian and said, take it, 1 billion. Not only can you take pictures, but you can also sleep with it. Zhang Chen asked, is it enough? If it's not enough, I will write another one. You can hug it left and right. Yao Fen and Zhao Xian fell down on the sofa with laughter. When they stood up again, Zhang Chen asked Yao Fen, where are those paintings by Han Xian? Yao Fen said, I have bought it and it is now on the Pacific Ocean. Thank you. Zongkai 727, 6440483335, Xifeng, and Jio 201912162129444508 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all a happy life. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1172. Zhang Chen returned to the dynamic zone from the Lakeside Art Museum. He called Xiao Zhao over and told her the news that Yao Fen and Zhao Xian had brought back from the auction. Xiao Zhao was also shocked. She asked, which art museum of ours? Is it worth that much now? Zhang Chen is right, are you happy? Xiao Zhao smiled and said, of course I am happy, dear. Let me tell you, when you first started doing this, to be honest, I was not very supportive. Do you think I'm wasting money? Zhang Chen asked. No, it has nothing to do with money. Xiao Zhao shook her head and said, I think it distracts your energy. For a while, you spent too much time on the art gallery, which was a bit unprofessional. Later I think you don't have any other hobbies, so I won't object. Zhang Chen laughed and said, why not? I smoke and drink too. That's not it, Xiao Zhao said, there are many people who also like to play golf, go to karaoke and so on. If you don't like these, then build an art museum. Zhang Chen said, at the beginning, I did it purely out of hobbies. I felt that I liked oil painting, and I didn't have much time to paint. It was good to just look at it. After seeing so many excellent works, if it feels like a pity to just scatter them outside, as they will probably be damaged or gone. If you have the ability, you can collect them and protect them. Xiao Zhao nodded yeah, and Zhang Chen continued. When the art museum really started, I felt that it was no longer as simple as a hobby, but a responsibility. We should take it seriously and treat it as a career. We should not only protect the previous works, but also to discover talents. We sponsor so many young painters every year. The increase in the value of the collection is something I did not expect, but it is not unexpected. The world's famous art galleries and museums are no less valuable than banks. Moreover, their ability to increase and maintain value is even greater. It is larger than a bank, because money can be printed every year, but every piece of art cannot be copied, and the longer it takes, the more precious it becomes. So today's situation is no surprise. As long as the domestic art market develops and the value of Chinese oil paintings is discovered and recognized by everyone, the collection of our oil painting museum will definitely increase in value rapidly every year. Without bragging, the oil paintings in our collection it is now the most comprehensive and well documented in the country. Zhang Chen was talking happily, Xiao Zhao was on the side, listening to him with a smile. Zhang Chen became very interested whenever he talked about these topics. Although Xiao Zhao didn't know much about oil painting, he liked to hear what he said. Xiao Zhao asked, when I was in Beijing, Heng Mei took me to see the National Art Museum of China. There are many oil paintings there. My dear, are you saying that their collection of oil paintings is not as comprehensive as ours? No, they occupy the middle and are lacking in both ends. From the perspective of literature, they are not as valuable as us, Zhang Chen said confidently. Why? They are the National Gallery. Just because they are the National Gallery, this is their advantage and disadvantage. Compared with them, we are more professional. Compared with us, they are more authoritative. Many times, they refuse to let go. Figure, for example, we consciously collected so many works by the painters from the National Art School, but in this area, they only have a very small part. Why is this, dear? Xiao Zhao asked. They don't have the funds for acquisitions, and they don't have the will to collect them. Those who work there, to put it harshly, they just regard it as a job. How can they regard it as a career like us? We are looking for works like hounds, at home and abroad, looking everywhere. When we smell a little information, we go directly to someone's house, negotiate the price and pay. They are officials, and they just sit there and wait for people to donate. Just come to donate, but because they are unprofessional, they still can't find the value in it. Including some works, if they just want to buy them, they have to submit a report to apply for funding first, submit reports at all levels, and discuss at all levels. When their money comes in, the daylily is cold. How can we be so fast? This is what I'm talking about. The lack in front of him is the collection and purchase of works by previous painters. It is not enough. By the time the value of this group of people is discovered and they try to supplement this, it will be too late. I can't even find the works of that group of people. There is another shortcoming at the end, that is, they are too serious, with a straight face, and think that everyone who wants to be admitted to their art museum must reach a certain status. This status is not the artistic value of the work itself, but other factors. Some things, such as your social popularity, whether you have won any awards, what level of professor you are, etc. This has resulted in their lack of works in the latter part, that is, the work of young painters. The vast majority of young painters are not in their sight at all, but as far as the painters themselves are concerned, most of their outstanding works are it was created before becoming famous. After becoming famous, people can easily fall into a misunderstanding, which is to keep repeating themselves and not dare to break through themselves. You don't focus on young painters, which itself is inconsistent with the laws of art, which results in a lack of works in your collection. As for us, almost all important oil painters came into our sights before they were even famous, and we started buying their paintings. In this regard, the National Art Museum of China cannot compare with us. But because it is a national art museum, its advantage is in the middle. That is, after the founding of the People's Republic of China, every important work that participated in the National Art Exhibition was collected by them. The painters at that time did not have much market awareness. As soon as he heard that his works could be collected by the National Art Museum of China, he was extremely happy, and almost all of them were given to them for free. For example, Luo Zongli's father, Chen Konglan Snow on June 1, 1968, and many of Hu Shanyu's landscape paintings that I like very much are all there, collected by the National Art Museum of China, and have become established by convention. It became a symbol of the artistic achievements of domestic painters, and was later used for professional titles and other evaluations. They are unmatched by other art museums in this area. But if you want to write a history of Chinese oil painting, they only have half of it at most. But here, we can say that from Lang Shining to the present, we have the works of almost all important oil painters, including these young painters. So I say that the documentary significance of our oil painting museum is greater than theirs. I dare to brag about this. Oh, dear, today is the first time I know that our oil painting gallery is so important, Xiao Zhao said. Of course. Do you think what your husband is doing is not doing his job properly? Zhang Chen said with a smile. This is also his job. Okay, I kind of admire you, is that enough? Xiao Zhao said angrily. It's not enough, I still feel a little regretful, Zhang Chen said. Xiao Zhao looked at Zhang Chen and asked, what do you regret? It's a pity that our Zhang Xiangbei has no interest in this at all. Letting him go to an art museum is like killing him. When I was his age, I started painting oil paintings by myself. Zhang Chen scratched the back of his neck and said sadly. Xiao Zhao laughed. However, Xiaoshu can do it. Xiaoshu's obsession is comparable to mine back then, Zhang Chen said. Xiao Zhao also laughed and said, I never expected that there would be a painter in our family. When he was a child, he was more interested in guns than paintbrushes. Zhang Chen patted his chest and said, that's because having such a brother-in-law made him realize his return. Xiao Zhao smiled and said, okay, just blow it. She looked outside the door, came over and kissed Zhang Chen on the face, and said to him, but you are quite cute when you blow it. He looked special, full of energy. Zhang Chen laughed. Lu Ligan and Tan Shahan came back. They walked in. Lu Ligan looked at them and asked, what are you two doing here? Showing off your affection nakedly without even closing the door. I'm listening to Teacher Zhang's class, Xiao Zhao said. Hey, Teacher Zhang, come on for us too, Lu Ligan said. Zhang Chen also told Lu Ligan and Tan Shahan about the news that he had brought Yao Fen and Zhao Xian back. Lu Ligan and Tan Shahan also became excited. Lu Ligan shouted. No way, Zhang Chen, is your art museum so valuable now? Zhang Chen is right, it will become more and more valuable in the future. Is there any reason for this? We have worked so hard to build houses and sell them. I thought that the house prices have risen enough. But compared with you, there is not even a fraction. It has only been a few years of hard work. You just invested in it in the first place. How much does it cost? And it has increased so much now, Lu Ligan asked. Zhang Chen scolded, is it just money that I invested? How much effort have I spent on the art gallery over the years? Why, only your house can increase, but the collection of my oil painting museum cannot. No, your rise must be too great. I can't even catch up, Lu Ligan said. Zhang Chen smiled proudly and said, in another 10 years, I'm afraid you won't be able to catch up. When a painting from my collection reaches your building, just cry. A painting is worth a building for me. When that day comes, I'll buy a piece of tofu and kill him, Lu Ligan said. Hey, you two rich guys, can you think about what to eat for dinner first? Tan Shahen shouted. I'm jealous, Lu Ligan said. Or go to Xiaosha to eat spicy fish, and then look at the half-acre construction site in the afterglow, Zhang Chen suggested. Okay, everyone will go in your car, Lu Ligan immediately agreed. Okay, Tan Shahen and Xiao Zhao shouted. They also felt that the spicy fish was indeed a bit satisfying to eat. What's even more enjoyable is when 4 people who are addicted to spicy food eat together. Thank you to Dal Tin Soldier and RIRI Shushu for the reward. Thank you to Qian Dad, Yuengzi, the Blade of the Kingdom, Tianying 1978, and Huaxin Yongxiao for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1173. As soon as April arrives, Lu Ligan and Tan Shahen become very busy, mainly because they have 3 important things to do in April. One is to participate in the first commercial housing trade fair in Hangzhou City from April 6 to 10. That is, Hangzhou's real estate fair, and the second is to participate in the Hangzhou state-owned land auction on April 18. Putting the land auction after the housing fair, with only 1 week in between, Lu Ligan said to the Municipal Urban Construction Bureau, Housing Management Bureau, and Director Chu of the Land Acquisition and Storage Center when he was having dinner, you are too cruel. The money from the sale of the house was kept in our pockets for just 1 week, and it has not yet warmed up, and it has gone into your pockets, Director Chu. Say, is this what you meant by arranging it this way? Director Chu said that if the leadership arranges well, we will listen to the leadership. Wherever the leadership points, we will fight. Everyone present from the relevant departments laughed and looked at Lu Ligan. No one gave him a clear answer. Even Lu Changcheng smiled and did not answer. This meal was invited by Lu Changcheng on behalf of the city government. He called the top leaders of relevant departments to attend, and also invited several major developers in Hangzhou. The purpose was to discuss how to successfully host the first Hangzhou real estate fair. This housing fair opened against the background of the State Council's accelerating the reform of the housing system and initiating the growth of consumer demand, so everyone from top to bottom attached great importance to it. The Hangzhou city government must of course organize and carry out this housing fair well, and the cooperation of real estate companies is indispensable for the success of the housing fair. Lu Changcheng asked Lu Ligan what suggestions he had for the housing fair. Lu Ligan said, I feel that the name housing fair is not nice. It is too straightforward and does not match the temperament of our city, Hangzhou. We should change it? A more elegant name. Lu Changcheng asked, Mr. Lu, what good ideas do you have? Lu Ligan looked at everyone present and said, my suggestion is to change it to the first best human settlements environment exhibition in Hangzhou. Doesn't the United Nations also have World Habitat Day and World Habitat Awards? Our houses in Hangzhou should not only be well built, but also be built well. To create a national reputation, the environment of the community must also be good. I think the Human Settlement Environment exhibition sounds like a public opinion guide, not just a commercial housing transaction. As soon as Lu Ligan said it, Lu Chengcheng immediately agreed. Mr. Lu still has many ideas, so let's call it Hangzhou's first best living environment exhibition. The urban construction director said, however, we have already done all the publicity and there are only 2 days left before the exhibition. I'm afraid it's too late to change the name. Then change it, we are not the first one. This first time is allowed to have some ill-considered things, but the name of this exhibition is too important. Think about it, what does this first time mean? The first time is a once-in-a-lifetime event. The name is set for the first time, and if you want to change it in the middle, it will be difficult, so we must change it now. Lu Chengcheng said this, and everyone agreed. Although the housing fair has been promoted enthusiastically in major media, when it officially debuted at the World Trade Center in Huanglong, it still had its own official name. The official name, Hangzhou's first best living environment exhibition. Such a loud and beautiful name was plastered on the red inflatable arch of the World Trade Center. It was a bit difficult to read in the announcer's mouth, but it was quickly dismissed by the crowds of people pouring in. The truth is, no matter what kind of sheep head you are hanging, it depends on what kind of dog meat you are selling, so we still call it a real estate fair. An exhibition has 2 names. It's okay if everyone is used to it and knows that one is the other. Moreover, a jingle spread immediately, meaning that once the annual housing fair begins, housing prices in Hangzhou will rise accordingly. This is indeed the case. From now on, the annual real estate fair has become an assistant in pushing up housing prices in Hangzhou. Even at the first real estate fair, Lu Ligan and his house prices in the center of Hangzhou were also raised by helicopter. The opening day was April 6. It was 11,180 yuan per square meter. By the end of April 10, it was already 16,080 yuan per square meter, with an average increase of 1,000 yuan per day. Those who came to buy a house were filled with resentment. Some people scolded that they went back yesterday to raise money. The money was raised, and they were ready to buy it today, but the money was not enough. This real estate fair attracted a large number of people from Yuwu, Taizhou, and Shaoxing, Zhejiang who had already become wealthy. At this real estate fair, an army was officially formed, and the one who showed their name was the famous Wenzhou real estate speculator group. They often after this battle, he became famous in one battle, and then quickly spread out of Hangzhou, Zhejiang, and across the country, making developers across the country rejoice and home buyers frightened. As soon as the first best living environment exhibition in Hangzhou opened, all the media inside and outside the province regarded this as a major news hotspot and took the opportunity to hype it up. The site of the real estate fair was crowded with people, and promotional materials for various real estate projects were snatched up. Tan Shahen kept calling and asking the company to send information about City in the Sky, but every time it was delivered, the information was still there. After being sold out, Lu Ligan had to call Chu Tianlin to help him urgently print 20,000 more copies. The developers participating in the exhibition were all as happy as if they were celebrating a holiday. Most of their houses were sold out in the first 2 days, and all subsequent houses needed to be booked, often with thousands of reservations. Properties like Lu Ligan's City in the Sky, which are still on paper, have been booked out of 10,000 units, and more than 12,000 units have been booked. The people who made reservations almost didn't even know where City in the Sky is. Haven't figured it out yet. No one cares about the location of the room he booked in the City in the Sky. He just looked at their building information and felt that the entire City in the Sky is very beautiful. We will then negotiate with the developer to determine which building and which floor it will be. Everyone has this mentality. At the same time, those who speculated on real estate numbers were also aroused. Many people wanted more than 10 or 20 numbers at a time. The prices of the few properties that are still available for sale, such as Lu Ligan's house in Hangcheng Center, will rise almost every day during the short housing fair period, almost faster than the tide of the Qianjiang River. After this housing fair was held, all the participating real estate developers were as if they were drunk, shouting that they were enjoying themselves. But on April 18, the day of the land auction, it was still at the World Trade Center, still at the same venue. Everyone was poured cold water on their heads and were dumbfounded. The starting prices of almost every piece of the 7 pieces of land launched this time are in the same area. Last year's transaction price, Lu Ligan and Director Chu said, "It can't be more fierce than you. How can our house increase? How can we eat the money? When it comes to you, it will be spit out again." Director Chu patted Lu Ligan on the shoulder and told him, "You can focus on participating, but I'm afraid that you can't hold it in, we'll see." The developers looked at each other and said with a wry smile, "We are shooting ourselves in the foot. By raising the house prices, we have given them room to increase prices." As expected, Director Chu guessed Lu Ligan correctly. For this auction, Lu Ligan and the others had made capital reserves at the end of last year. With this wave of real estate fair sales, their pockets were bulging. They took all the money in one go. 6 of the 7 pieces of land were bought, and for the last one, the other party was shouting the price while constantly handing over Lu Ligan and the others to beg for mercy, shouting for mercy. "Kill, kill, kill until he leaves no trace of his armor." Meng Ping shouted from the side. Zhang Chen said from the side, "That's it, Pole. If you continue, you will make people angry." Lu Ligan thought about it, then stopped bidding, and told the other party that it's yours. The other party quickly handed over, "Concession, concession." Otherwise, Lu Ligan would have won all 7 pieces of land this time. "Oops," Meng Ping sighed and cursed, "why did you just give up the pole?" Zhang Chen looked at Meng Ping and said, "You really don't care about the excitement. Why are you doing the same thing in Nanjing?" Lu Ligan laughed, and Lu Ligan said, "He can't do anything in Nanjing. Those old ladies are in charge of him. He is not even qualified to hold the placards. Ya Yulan and Qianfang are the ones holding them." Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Meng Ping, then you just come here to experience eye and mouth addiction." Meng Ping chuckled. The third thing Lu Ligan and the others had to do in April was to participate in the land auction in Shanghai on April 26. At this auction, their Zhejiang splendid land shocked Shanghai, and they bought 6 pieces of land in one fell swoop. 4 of the land parcels were auctioned, and at a floor price of 7,280 per square meter, the king of land for residential land in Shanghai was auctioned. Domestic financial media contacted Lu Ligan and Tan Shahan one after another. They collectively called the Shanghai land auction, together with Lu Ligan and their recent performance at the Hangzhou Land Auction and Real Estate Fair, the Splendid Land Phenomenon, made a very detailed analysis report. This made Lu Ligan and Tan Shahan quickly become celebrities in the domestic real estate industry. Almost all land auctions in cities would send them invitations to participate. The money in the company's accounts is shrinking rapidly, and cash is really flowing out like running water, but Tan Shahan no longer has that panic mentality. She feels that as long as she takes out a random project and launches it, the cash will flow back like running water. That's the truth. And it's not that they don't have any projects that can be launched, but they are reluctant to sell them and want to keep housing prices rising for a while. Tan Shahan also calculated it carefully. The cash lying on the account is depreciating every day, but if the cash is turned into land, it will appreciate every day. It comes and goes, which is a lot of money. Is it necessary to leave more cash in the account? Zhejiang Jingxiudadi Real Estate Co., Limited has become a first-class real estate company in the country. The company's assets are increasing rapidly and soon exceeded 20 billion. At that time, it was a giant company. Tan Shahan looked at Zhang Chen and said with a bitter smile, Zhang Chen, we look very prosperous now, but in fact we are very poor. We are a large-scale poor company. Do you know that the cash in my company's account at the least is only more than 20 million, which is not enough to pay for the entire company. With 3 months' salary, we now have more than 2,600 employees across the country. You deserve it. If you continue to toss, you'd better ask me to borrow money to pay wages. Zhang Chen scolded. Tan Shehen, I thought this guy was crazy enough, but I didn't expect you to be so crazy. Tan Shehen smiled and said, Zhang Chen, you don't know, sitting there and holding up the cards is really exciting and enjoyable. Lu Ligan laughed on the side, and Zhang Chen cursed, unreasonable. Thank you for the reward for the 2 fish, 1 above and the third from top to bottom. Thank you Wooden Man and Book Friend 201912162129444508 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1174. Zhang Chen was sitting in the office, staring blankly at the sketchbook spread out in front of him. When Lu Ligan came in, he knew that this guy was still holding back the debt owed by that American girl. Lu Ligan came over and said to Zhang Chen, is that American girl urging you again? Zhang Chen shook his head and said no, but she didn't mention it again. That's great. Don't think about it. Maybe that American girl has forgotten about it, Lu Ligan said. Zhang Chen said no, if she forgets, I will have to design something for her. Are you stupid? You don't need to rely on this to make a living, so why torture yourself like this, Lu Ligan said. Zhang Chen said, think about it, even if she forgot, how could she forget? It was only after she decided that I was a person who broke my promise that she put it aside, right? She forgot, but the impression that I didn't keep my promise also left a mark on her, which is worse than not forgetting. Lu Ligan thought it made sense and said, what should we do? The only way is to design something for her to let her know that even if she has forgotten, I have not forgotten my promise to her. Only in this way can I eliminate her impression. As Zhang Chen said, Lu Ligan laughed and cursed, okay, you are more damn loyal to this American girl than to your first love. My first love was Jin Lily, Zhang Chen cursed, which meant that it wasn't that I wasn't loyal to her. No matter who she is, let's go eat first, and then come back and continue your unrequited love. As Lu Ligan spoke, he stretched out his hand and turned off the lamp on Zhang Chen's desk. The table became cloudy for a moment, but Zhang Chen's eyes lit up. Zhang Chen reached out and turned on the lamp again, and took the pen. Lu Ligan knew that he was inspired, so he stopped disturbing him. Lu Ligan walked out and walked to Xiao Zhao's office. Tan Shehen and Xiao Zhao were standing there. The two were communicating about the situation of the parent-teacher conference between Xiongnan and Xiangbei last night. Seeing Lu Ligan coming in, Tan Shehen asked, how is it? Is Zhang Chen okay? Go hungry, Comrade Zhang is inspired, Lu Ligan said, I don't know when it will be better. What inspiration? Xiao Zhao asked. Probably designing something for Jessica, Lu Ligan said. Tan Shehen and Xiao Zhao both sat down. They both knew that this matter had been bothering Zhang Chen for a long time. Tan Shehen said, then just wait. Zhang Chen sat there, finishing one painting and then another, and drew 7 or 8 in a row. Then he stopped, put down his pen, looked at the lamp on the table and smiled stupidly. He smiled before he remembered, Lu Ligan and the others were still waiting for him to go out for dinner. He really felt hungry and jumped up from his chair. He walked to Xiao Zhao's office next door. Xiao Zhao saw him coming in and asked, is the painting done? Okay, Zhang Chen said with a smile. What did you draw? Tan Shehen asked curiously. Do you want to watch it now or come back after dinner? Zhang Chen asked. Lu Ligan scolded, you guy, after you finish painting, you can still eat. You have whetted our appetite. How can we eat? Let's go for a walk, of course we are watching now. Tan Shehen and Xiao Zhao also left. The four people returned to Zhang Chen's office. Zhang Chen spread out his sketchbook and showed them page by page. Zhang Chen said, Gangzi, when you just turned off the lights, I remembered it and designed the lamps. Do you still remember those flower windows we saw in Zuch village? I just thought of using thin wooden boards to hollow out Chinese paper cut style patterns. Such a board can be used as a lampshade and can be made into a cylindrical shape and can be made into a floor lamp and placed on the ground. Put it on the table, it's a table lamp, hang it up, and the bottom is empty, it's a chandelier. Think about it, when the lights inside are turned on and these patterns are reflected indoors, the light and shadow are so beautiful. As Zhang Chen was talking, he was flipping through the pages. Lu Ligan and the others saw that he had drawn square, triangular, and round columns. These were floor lamps, and they were indeed very beautiful. If hung on the wall, it is a wall lamp of various shapes, if hung on the ceiling, it is a chandelier. Lu Ligan said, yours is more like a light box. Yes, it's the concept of a light box. Zhang Chen nodded and said. It's a lantern when you hold it in your hand, Tan Shehen said. Zhang Chen smiled and said, okay. Make it smaller and put it on the table or in the bar, Lu Ligan said. It's just an idea, and this idea can be extended, Zhang Chen said. Don't foreigners' houses have front and backyards? If the wooden boards are replaced with thin aluminum plates or stainless steel plates, with white plexiglass inside, then it can be done. Various garden lights are produced. This is good. Make a batch. We can use it in Mishaihe Park and in each of our communities, Lu Ligan shouted, and Tan Shehen nodded. She also thought this was good. I have already thought about it. We will use this for the street lights in our new factory. They are made into low walls. The content is a reduced version of the Holy Book. On each lamp, there is a sign of half an acre of field, Zhang Chen said. That's so beautiful, Xiao Zhao sighed. That's right, make a batch for us, and each one has the logo of our Zhejiang splendid land, so that when people arrive at our site, they will know it immediately, Lu Ligan shouted. Zhang Chen said yes. How about it, Lu Ligan asked, I'll find someone to do it tomorrow. You idiot, you can just make the sample lamp yourself. Didn't you say it's a light box? Just like making a light box, you only need a wire saw. But for this board, you need to choose a lighter board. You can use sycamore board, Zhang Chen said. Lu Ligan asked, can't we use plywood? No, the texture is not good, and it looks cheap at first glance. Also, if you use a wire saw to cut out the plywood, think about the saw curve. Lu Ligan agreed, that would be too rough. Can we go have dinner now? Tan Shehen asked. Okay, I think I have become old Tang now and need meat, a lot of meat, Zhang Chen said. Hey, I haven't seen that pair of darlings for a few days. I asked them to come and eat roasted lamb legs. Lu Ligan picked up the phone as he spoke, and Tan Shehen said, how could he not have eaten at this time? It doesn't matter if you eat it again. That's old Tang, extraordinary. Lu Ligan called old Tang. Old Tang was working overtime in the factory, and Lin Shuwen was also there. When they heard about the roast lamb leg, both Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao went. Old Tang quickly said, okay, you tell my brother, we'll be there soon. Your brother? Lu Ligan was stunned for a moment, and then he remembered that old Tang was talking about Zhang Chen. She followed Lin Shuwen and called Zhang Chen not boss but brother. Lu Ligan laughed and cursed. Old Tang, are you so sweet-mouthed now? Isn't it time to call me brother? The next day, Zhang Chen went to the timber market, but did not find such a thin sycamore wood board. The owner of a shop selling imported wood boards asked Zhang Chen what he was looking for sycamore wood boards for. Zhang Chen showed him his sketchbook and told him, for lampshade. After the boss saw it, he told Zhang Chen that you can't use sycamore boards. Why? Zhang Chen asked. Light bulbs have a temperature, and sycamore wood burns easily. Over time, it will not only deform, but also cause problems, the boss said. When Zhang Chen heard this, he felt a chill in his heart. Yes, how could he have forgotten about this? Such a thin board could easily be ignited if it was roasted by a light bulb at such close range for a long time, which would cause trouble. The boss looked at Zhang Chen's frustrated look and said, "It doesn't matter, brother, there is a kind of plate that can meet your requirements." "What is it?" Zhang Chen asked. "Cork board," the boss said. As soon as the boss said this, Zhang Chen laughed. Yes, why did he forget about the cork board? Unfortunately, he still does decoration, and using cork board for this is the most suitable. Cork board is not a wooden board, but oak bark is crushed into particles, and then fumigated at high temperature through equipment to expand the fragrant bark particles and release natural resin, which are bonded to form cork bricks, which are then polished and cut to be made as needed. Cork boards of varying thicknesses. The entire production process of corkboard is 100% natural, without adding any glue, colorants, flame retardants, or other chemical mixtures. It is an internationally recognized green building material. Foreigners especially like to use it to decorate villas, wooden houses, theaters, audiovisual rooms, hotels, etc. Wait. The texture of corkboard is good enough, and a special benefit is that it is a natural heat insulating and flame retardant material. The temperature of a light bulb is child's play for it. Zhang Chen quickly asked the boss, "Do you have cork boards here? They should be thinner and have finer grains. Can the roll material be used?" "It's from Portugal," the boss said. Zhang Chen said yes. The boss found 3 tubes of rolling material and asked Zhang Chen to choose. Zhang Chen chose the one with the finest particles. Zhang Chen went back with the cork roll, and found another problem, that is, how to make it. It would definitely not work with a wire saw, because the cutting edge would look like a dog bite. When Zhang Chen and the others were decorating in the past, they always used a utility knife and ruler. The ruler pressed against the cork board. The utility knife cut hard and it came off. It was easy to cut and the edges were smooth. But if you want to create a paper cut effect, use utility knife, definitely not. Zhang Chen was helpless and sat there in a daze again. Xiao Zhao walked in and saw him and said to him, "Please help me, spread the hero message widely and let everyone help me think of a solution." Old Tang studied printmaking, so Zhang Chen first thought of asking him. Old Tang said yes, he could knock it out with a carving knife, but it would take some time. Chu Tianjian knew it and said with a smile, "What kind of carving knife to use? If you do it by hand, how can you guarantee the quality? If you get to the back of the carving and accidentally cut it off, will all your previous efforts be wasted?" When Zhang Chen thought about it, it really made sense. "Mr. Zhang, how thick is your cork board?" Chu Tianjian asked. 3 millimeters, Zhang Chen said. "Bring the pattern over here, and I'll make a die for you. Just punch it with a punch. I can punch paper cards with 5 millimeters. The density and strength of paper cards are greater than yours. I can punch yours. There is definitely no problem," Chu Tianjian said. "I'm just going to make a sample and a mold," Zhang Chen asked. "You will definitely use die cutting tools in the future, and you will also carve by hand? Your entire process flow is not up to standard. What will you do if someone places an order? Do you want to do it at the last minute?" Chu Tianjian asked. When Zhang Chen thought about it, it really made sense. Isn't this the same as making your own clothes? You can't just sew a sample by hand. When someone places an order and their requirements are the same as the sample, you can sew them all by hand. Zhang Chen handed the pattern to Chu Tianjian. Chu Tianjian spent a day making the knife mold. After installing it, he punched out the flower corkboard very easily. Zhang Chen looked at it for himself and felt that too beautiful. "Thank you West Wind for your monthly ticket." Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good night everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1175. Zhang Chen took it upon himself to make 4 corkboard lamps, namely a floor lamp, a wall lamp, a table lamp and a chandelier. He remembered that Shentu Hanjian ran a hardware factory, so he asked her to make 2 garden lamps from aluminum alloy. Shentu Hanjian's husband cut and filed these 2 lamps by hand. Shentu Hanjian and he said that if it is mass production, it can be punched directly with a punch. Zhang Chen sent photos of several lamps to Jessica, and he breathed a sigh of relief. He finally completed the task. It was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon when he sent it to Jessica. At this time, Jessica was there. It was around 4 in the morning, and when she woke up, she could see the photos Zhang Chen sent her on MSN. At about 9 o'clock in the evening, Zhang Chen received a call from Su Kioxin, saying that Jessica knew that Zhang Chen did not understand English and could not communicate even though the phone was connected. MSN was not online, so she called Su Kioxin directly. Jessica is very happy, Mr. Zhang. She asked if the samples could be sent to her immediately. She seemed to be in a hurry and asked you to design a series and send her the drawings, Su Kioxin said on the phone. Zhang Chen said yes, you can come over tomorrow to arrange delivery. When Jessica received Zhang Chen's samples, Zhang Chen also designed a series of indoor lamps and garden lights, and provided 12 paper-cut style patterns for them to choose from. Jessica left a long list of smiling faces for Zhang Chen on MSN. Zhang Chen not only laughed when he saw it. The design fee offered by Jessica and the others was US $128,000. Zhang Chen agreed. Next, Zhang Chen was required to sign a series of documents, indicating that the design of the series of products already belonged to their target company. They want to register a patent in the United States. After Zhang Chen's documents were signed, Jessica remitted the design fee and asked Zhang Chen if she could help them find manufacturers in China for production, so that they could place orders directly to Zhang Chen and his company. Lin Shuwen and Zhang Chen said that these Americans are really cunning. What's wrong? Zhang Chen asked puzzledly. Brother, you still don't understand. We have passed the WCA Social Responsibility certification. They know that very few factories in mainland China can pass the certification in one go. If they give us the order, we will be the supplier, so they don't need to do anything else after arranging certification. Do you think they are not afraid of trouble and really have so many social responsibilities? Zhang Chen understood, that was what happened. But whatever, as long as you make money, brother Lin Shuwen said with a smile. It was impossible for Zhang Chen and the others to produce lamps on their own. Zhang Chen asked Shentu Hanjian if she wanted to make this product. Shentu Hanjian was so happy that she shouted, "Really, Mr. Zhang, are you really going to sell Target's products? Let us make the order?" Zhang Chen said, "Yes, I can trust you. I believe that you two are good people and the products you make will make people feel at ease. The garden lights, including the corkboard lights, will be made by you." Okay, Mr. Zhang, I promise there will be no mistakes, Shentu Hanjian said excitedly. Jessica's order came quickly, and they placed 22 containers, 2 of which were shipped first, and the next 20 containers, which were 40 days apart from the previous shipment time. Zhang Chen was puzzled as to why they arranged this. Lin Shuwen said that the first 2 depended on the quality of your goods. If your quality was too far from what they expected, shipments would be stopped later. Then they can place 2 counter trial orders first. Why do they have to place them together? Zhang Chen asked. Working together allows factories to prepare materials together. They also know that the larger the purchase volume of raw materials, the cheaper the price. Although they care about the price, what is better than Walmart is that they still hope that the factory can make more money through such cooperation. It will be smoother. When they place orders in Taiwan, they all like to do this. This is also the reason why the factory feels that they are more friendly and like to do their orders. Lin Shuwen said. Zhang Chen understood, but he thought about it and asked. Then what if there is a quality problem with the first two, and they cancel the subsequent orders, and the factory has already received a lot of materials? Lin Shuwen smiled and said, brother, if you have quality problems, what else do you want to do? No customer will swallow it. According to the contract, everyone has the right to cancel the order. Zhang Chen nodded and said, that's true. Brother, let me make a suggestion, Lin Shuwen said. You say. There are actually 4 factories here now producing your orders, 2 from factory director Zhao, 1 from Old Tang, and now another in Yuwo. Lin Shuwen said, I think you should make Kioxin and the others independent. Come out and set up a foreign trade company alone. What's the difference? Zhang Chen asked. Yes, if you have a separate foreign trade company, you can recruit more salesmen, and you can make more than just your own products. You can make everything, including targets other products. You can also help them. Procurement, with this foundation, the foreign trade company itself can do a lot. The most important thing is to have an independent QC department, that is, quality control. Even if it is the products produced by Director Zhao and his company, your foreign trade company must have a QC sent there. This person is not under the control of the factory. It is a foreign trade company and is only responsible for customer orders. This is equivalent to an additional quality control in addition to the quality management of the factory. It's the same with Lao Tang. Now it's up to Lao Tang to take care of it. Then, I keep an eye on it every day. I actually act as your QC, inspecting the goods according to the orders. These are special circumstances. When you place an order to Yuwo, who will control the quality? QC starts from the raw materials and supervises the entire production process. If any problems are found, the factory will correct them immediately. You can't wait until all the products are produced before discovering the problems. Then there will be no time for rework, which will definitely affect delivery. Zhang Chen felt that what Lin Shuwen said made sense. Indeed, Su Kioxin and the others are now the foreign trade department of Xiaomei wedding dresses, but they are actually responsible for all the foreign trade business of Ben Muishan clothing, as well as Lao Tang's, and then Shen Tuhong. From Yan's place, it is no longer appropriate to put them under Xiaomei's wedding dress. Zhang Chen transferred Su Kioxin and the entire foreign trade department to the company. There was no office, so he temporarily bought a dormitory to use as an office for them. At the same time, Zhang Chen asked Zhang Mushan to come over and take a look, and decided to add a floor above their office building. Su Kioxin was recruiting people, especially to add a new document and a QC department. The office would definitely not be enough. Zhang Chen received a call from Huihuan at the Xiaosha construction site. Huihuan said to him, Brother Zhang, do you have time today? What's wrong? Zhang Chen asked. Didn't I agree to treat you to the first meal? I have already prepared everything here and it will be open tomorrow. Really, that's great. Brother Zhang, do you want dinner or midnight snack? Huihuan asked. Let's have dinner. I'm in Xiaosha right now and will come over later. Okay, then I'll start getting ready. Is it okay at 5:30? Zhang Chen said yes. At 5:30, Zhang Chen went to number 1 road. He passed by at noon. The light box at the entrance of Huihuan's store had not been installed yet. At this time, Zhang Chen saw from a distance that the light box of Huihuan local food restaurant had been installed. It got up, but the lights inside were not lit, probably because it was not officially opened. Zhang Chen parked the car on the side of the road and walked over. The store door was closed. Through the glass door, he saw a person mopping the floor inside. Zhang Chen pushed the door open. The person inside straightened up and turned around. Chen saw a girl of 18 or 19 with a round face and acne on her face. Who are you looking for? The little girl asked him, but before Zhang Chen had time to answer, Hui Huan was in the kitchen and heard the noise outside. She leaned out and saw Zhang Chen and shouted, "Brother Zhang, are you here? Please take a seat." Then he said to the little girl, "Ah Chiao, quickly pour some water for Brother Zhang." Zhang Chen quickly said, "You guys should be busy, I'll look around." Hui Huan smiled, "Okay, then I don't care about you." Zhang Chen first walked to the room next door to take a look. After it was repainted, it felt much more spacious than before. This room could fit 5 small square tables. Zhang Chen was familiar with this square table, having moved it from Sanbeo. Zhang Chen saw that the decorator had made changes to the original floor-to-ceiling glass. Close to the glass, he built a brick wall more than 1 meter high, and the entire floor-to-ceiling glass turned into a huge window. It turned out that this was a supermarket, which was unnecessary. Now it is a hotel, but Zhang Chen felt that this change is necessary. In this case, it doesn't matter if a guy who drinks too much is kicked or hit. It seems that this guy has decorated many small restaurants like this and is very experienced. Zhang Chen walked into the kitchen and saw a stainless steel stove on one side. Next to the stove was a stainless steel table, used for cooking and chopping vegetables. Opposite here, there was a long table built with ceramic tiles, on which were placed there are 3 gas stoves. Hui Huan was taking a casserole off one of the gas stoves. When she saw Zhang Chen coming in, Hui Huan smiled at him and said to him, "It will be delicious soon." Zhang Chen nodded and said, "So many gas stoves?" "Yes, we need to cook food there, but there are not so many gas stoves. If the guests order too many cookers, it will be too busy." "This little girl outside is the waiter you hired?" Zhang Chen asked. "A child from a relative of mine said she wanted to work in Hangzhou, so I asked her to come to my place," Hui Huan said, pointing to the back of the hotel, and said to Zhang Chen, "I rented a house here. A house where she lives with me." Zhang Chen agreed that it would be safer for the 2 girls to live together. "It's time to eat. Today there are 3 pots and 4 stir-fries." Zhang Chen looked at the 3 pots today. They were different from last time. They were bamboo shoots pot, shredded radish pot and a turtle in red soup. In the pot, there are 4 stir-fried dishes, namely stir-fried bacon with green garlic, braised fish fillets, fried shrimps in oil and mushrooms and vegetables. Zhang Chen tasted them one by one and they all tasted good. Zhang Chen and Hui Huan still drank wine with rice. Ah Chiao lowered her head and finished a bowl of rice quickly, then told them, "Eat slowly, I will go back to the room first." Hui Huan agreed. Zhang Chen raised his wine glass and said to Hui Huan, "I wish you a prosperous business." Hui Huan says thank you. The 2 clinked and drank, then put down their glasses. Hui Huan and Zhang Chen said, "Brother Zhang, the opening is tomorrow. I feel so nervous." Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Have you already opened a hotel? Why are you so nervous?" It's different this time." Hui Huan shook her head, thought for a moment, and said it out, "Brother Zhang is here this time. I feel that if it doesn't go well, I'll be very sorry for Brother Zhang." "Don't think like that, just be normal," Zhang Chen said, "besides, this restaurant relies on word of mouth. Don't expect many people to come on the first day tomorrow. As long as your dishes maintain such a taste, the guests will definitely there will be more and more." "Really," Hui Huan sighed, "I just don't have confidence in the food I cook. In the past, it was all cooked by chefs." "You are much better than them," Zhang Chen said. "By the way, how about I bring some people over tomorrow to cheer you up?" "No," Hui Huan shouted, "Brother Zhang, you must not come tomorrow." "Why?" Zhang Chen asked. "I'll be more nervous if you come." Thank you to Dal Tin Soldier and RIRI Shushu for the reward. Thank you to the Humor Tribe, 644048335, and book friend 201709042157455592 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1176. At noon the next day, Zhang Chen thought that Huihuan's restaurant would be opening today. He couldn't help it, so he drove to Xiaosha. When he got there, he didn't stop, but just slowed down and started driving from Huihuan local restaurant passed by the door. Zhang Chen looked over there and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. He saw a table of guests on the side where he entered the door. There seemed to be 2 or 3 tables of guests on the other side of the large glass window. He saw Aqiao entering with a casserole. It looks pretty good, and there is no such empty scene. For a small restaurant that just opened today, it is still the first meal, and there is no opening event, it should be pretty good. At about 8 o'clock in the evening, Zhang Chen's cell phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number. Zhang Chen picked it up, and Huihuan's excited voice came from the phone. "Brother Zhang, let me tell you, guess how much I did today?" Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Didn't you tell me? Why do you want me to guess again?" Huihuan also smiled and said, "I have done more than 1,100. Really? That's great. I'm telling you, Brother Zhang, there is a guest who ate here at noon today, and came back to eat with others in the evening. Not bad, not bad. We have repeat customers. If you see it, I know you can do it." Huihuan chuckled, "Thank you, Brother Zhang. I also have a midnight snack. I plan to do 1005 today. Oh, Brother Zhang, we have another guest. I won't tell you any more. Okay, go and do your work." After hanging up the phone, Zhang Chen was also happy for Huihuan, even happier than when he opened a store there and the business was good. He remembered what Huihuan said to him yesterday, "I feel that if it doesn't open well, I will be very sorry for Brother Zhang." Zhang Chen thought of a word, share will and woe. He felt that the store was not just Huihuan's store. If the business was not good, he would be the same, and might even be more sad than Huihuan. Fortunately, this mouth is still very accurate, and it can tell what delicious dishes are. Zhang Chen walked out of the office and saw that Su Qiaxin and the others' lights were still on, so he walked over. Unexpectedly, he saw that Su Qiaxin and 5 or 6 salesmen were still at work. Zhang Chen asked, "Are you guys not getting off work yet?" Su Qiaxin said casually, "I can't do it anymore. That Jerry has to discuss things with me every morning. I have to wait for him." Yes, over in the United States, Jessica and Jerry should be still driving to work. Another salesperson said that all my European customers are still having lunch. "Did you ask them to work overtime?" Zhang Chen asked Su Qiaxin. Su Qiaxin said, "No, it's automatic. We don't have any restrictions on commuting. However, now the foreign trade salesmen who don't work overtime basically can't receive orders." Zhang Chen didn't understand this. He asked, "Why can't I send emails if I don't work overtime and can't receive orders?" Su Qiaxin and Zhang Chen said that there are too many messy emails in the mailbox now, and they are afraid of being infected by viruses. Generally, they are not very good at opening unfamiliar emails. For foreigners, it is probably the same. When they go to work, they will definitely open them first. Read the familiar emails and put the others aside until you have time. Especially those customers from the internet, it is so convenient to inquire now. They may send inquiry letters to dozens of customers who produce similar products at the same time, and they may also receive dozens of quotation emails at the same time. This success rate is too low. Yes, in many cases, We took the time to calculate the quotation seriously, but after sending it, there was no response. This is also based on experience. Only customers who inquire directly through MSN and can communicate directly with customers in MSN will have a higher success rate. Therefore, everyone is used to communicating directly with customers during their working hours. Is the internet our only source of customers now? Zhang Chen asked. Su Qiaxin sighed. She said yes, we are not like those large state-owned foreign trade companies that can be assigned booths at the Canton Fair every year to participate in the Canton Fair. If we can participate in the Canton Fair, we will definitely get to know many customers and collect a lot of business cards. That's good. How can I get this booth at the Canton Fair? Zhang Chen asked. This is from the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation, which is distributed directly to each province. When it comes to our province, it will definitely be taken away by old state-owned companies such as Zongda Group and Minmetals. How will it be the turn of little guys like us? Is there no other way? Zhang Chen asked. I don't know either. It is said that there are some stalls in Guangzhou, that is, the organizing committee, and they are sold on the black market every year. I don't know where to buy them, Su Qiaxin said. Zhang Chen looked at Su Qiaxin and could see that she really wanted to take people to the Canton Fair. Also, if she got to know more guests, it would be you who picks the guests, rather than the guests picking you. What's more, now that they have made Su Qiaxin and the others independent, she has more ideas to expand her business. Although this girl says I don't know all day long, she actually has many ideas and ambitions in her heart. When is the Canton Fair? Zhang Chen asked. April 15 to 26 Su Qiaxin said. It's too late, it will open next week, Zhang Chen said. Su Qiaxin looked at him and said, What, Mr. Zhang, do you have a way to get a booth at the Canton Fair? You can try it, Zhang Chen said. Then we can take it from the Autumn Fair. Su Qiaxin became excited. The Autumn Fair opens on October 15. Okay, I'll make a call tomorrow and ask, Zhang Chen said. Great, Su Qiaxin shouted. Hey, I just said to call and ask, I didn't say that I would definitely get it, Zhang Chen said. Okay, Mr. Zhang, try it, Su Qiaxin said. Zhang Chen smiled and said, you should also get off work early. It's still early, it's only what time it is, Su Qiaxin said. Getting off work so early means no overtime. Then what time do you usually get off work in the evening? Zhang Chen asked. It must be around 11 o'clock, Su Qiaxin said. Fortunately, customers from the United States and Canada will focus on communicating with us in the morning if they have anything to do. Zhang Chen nodded and walked out. He felt that he was a bit bureaucratic. After such a long time, he didn't even know that all the foreign trade orders in the factory were obtained by Su Qiaxin and others working overtime every day. It is their normal routine to work overtime until late at night every day. In this world, many people are working hard, but you can't see some people's efforts at all, so you feel that you are the only one who works particularly hard. Even in Sanbeo and Kiasi factories, there are still so many workers working overtime. Zhao's Hegang and Zhao's Hailong are still patrolling in their offices or workshops. With so many people working hard, your company can operate normally and money can continue to come in every day. When thinking like this, Zhang Chen's heart was filled with gratitude. Zhang Chen returned to his office. He looked at his watch and decided to call Sun Ho now and ask him if there was any way to get a booth at the Canton Fair. Zhang Chen, do you want the Spring Festival or the Autumn Festival? Sun Ho asked. It's too late for the Spring Fair, it will start next week, Zhang Chen said. I'll ask you tomorrow, Zhang Chen. Sun Ho said. Who is it? Xiao Wang's second brother is now at the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation, and he seems to be in charge of this matter. Yellow bitch. Enveuan, Sun Ho said. Zhang Chen laughed, that was bitch Wang's wife. At around 10 o'clock, Zhang Chen arrived at the downstairs of the dynamic zone and was about to go home. He got into the car, but couldn't help himself and drove downstairs again. When he passed by the entrance of Huihuan local cuisine restaurant, he saw something inside. With 4 or 5 tables of guests, Zhang Chen couldn't help but laugh. It seemed that Huihuan's wish of doing $1,005 today could be fulfilled. Before Zhang Chen drove to the end of Road 1, he saw the lights on their factory site brightly lit, and the workers seemed to be working overtime. What was going on? Zhang Chen drove in curiously and unexpectedly found that Lao Tan and Zhang Mushin's cars were parked here. Zhang Chen got out of the car. Lao Tan saw his car coming in from a distance, walked over, and asked strangely, "Why are you here?" Zhang Chen couldn't answer this question for a while. He could only say that I was passing by and saw the construction site was very busy, so I came in to take a look. Lao Tan and Zhang Chen said that they were pouring the slab on the second floor today and it would probably take them all night. Zhang Chen followed Lao Tan to the site and found that this place was similar to the old center of Hangzhou. 6 mixers were working constantly, hand-pushed dump trucks came and went, the floor slabs here were being poured, and the floors there were still pouring. The formwork and steel bars continued to be put up. From time to time, loading and unloading trucks came in below, transporting yellow sand. The construction site was very busy. This kind of cast-in-place floor slab is best completed in one go. Zhang Chen asked Lao Tan, "Are you going to take down all these 18,000 square meters?" Lao Tan was right, he started in the morning and should be able to finish it in another 7 or 8 hours. Can the workers tolerate it? Rotation, this is already the second group of people, Lao Tan said. Zhang Chen nodded. At noon, Zhang Chen passed by outside. He didn't know the situation inside, so he didn't come in. He turned to number 2 street and turned to number 3 street and went back. He didn't know that the battle here had already started in the morning. Now, it has become a protracted war. Zhang Chen was about to ask Lao Tan and Zhang Mushin to go for supper together. His cell phone rang. It was Sun Ho. Zhang Chen quickly picked it up. It was very noisy here. Zhang Chen walked downstairs while picking up the phone, shouting loudly. Let Sun Ho hear his voice clearly. Zhang Chen, where are you and why are you so noisy? Sun Ho asked. I'm at the construction site of my new factory. I'll be fine soon. Monkey, I'm walking down. Zhang Chen quickened his pace as he spoke. The sounds of the mixer and the concrete vibrator were slowly fading away in his ears. Zhang Chen, we can arrange it for the spring festival. Do you want it? It seemed that Sun Ho, like himself, did not call again tomorrow, but hung up his phone and contacted Xiao Huang. Zhang Chen couldn't help laughing and asked. Will there still be booths at the spring fair? Well, the Xinjiang Construction Corps exhibition group doesn't have that many products this year. They can temporarily arrange 3 stalls. If you want, go to the Xinjiang group. Zhang Chen thought to himself, the spring fair will start next week, and they have no preparations. Would it be too hasty to go now? But then I thought about whether it was rushed or not. Su Qiaxin and the others didn't know what the Canton fair looked like. It would be better to let them go and see it first. Zhang Chen quickly said, Monkey, we want it? Okay, I'll confirm it tomorrow morning and I'll send you a form. You need to fill in all the exhibitor information and send it directly to Guangzhou, Sun Ho said. Thank you for the reward for the 2 fish, 1 above and the third from top to bottom. Thank you to Fat Smoking Man, 6440483335, Bulletin's Thread, and Baikan Scholar for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1177. Zhang Chen hurriedly said goodbye to Lao Tan, drove the car, and rushed to the company. When he passed the entrance of Huihuan local cuisine restaurant, he glanced over there and saw that there were 2 or 3 tables of customers inside. Zhang Chen smiling and saying to himself, not bad, a good start. Zhang Chen rushed upstairs to the dynamic zone. It was almost 12 o'clock, and Su Qiaxin and the others had already gotten off work. Zhang Chen stood in the garden and shouted, Su Qiaxin. This shout not only called out Su Qiaxin, who had just returned to the dormitory, but also Lu Ligan, Tan Shehen, and Ji Ling. They didn't know what happened in the middle of the night. Come on, you all, Zhang Chen said with a smile. Zhang Chen returned to the office and saw Lu Ligan and Tan Shehen coming in. Zhang Chen asked strangely, what are you doing here? Tan Shehen was confused. She said, Zhang Chen, didn't you ask us to come? Zhang Chen laughed and said, I asked Su Qiaxin and Ji Ling to come. What's the point of coming for my company? Whatever, he's here. Lu Ligan sat down on the sofa, looked at Zhang Chen and asked, you seem to be very excited, what's the good news? Zhang Chen smiled and said, of course it's a good thing. Sun Ho helped me get a booth at the Canton Fair, and it's for the spring fair. It opens next week. TCH, what did I think it was? Lu Lepole said disdainfully, it's just a booth at an exhibition. It's just a booth at an exhibition. You know how difficult it is to get a booth at the Canton Fair. You think it's a booth at your housing fair, so you just have to pay. Zhang Chen said, do you know where you can get this booth? Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation. Su Qiaxin walked in, and Zhang Chen told her the news. Su Qiaxin screamed, really, Mr. Zhang? Did you lie to me? Are we really going to the Canton Fair? Zhang Chen smiled and said, of course it's true, otherwise why would I wake you up in the middle of the night? We need to discuss it immediately to see what preparations need to be done. Also, the participants of the exhibition will be decided tomorrow and fill in the information. Send it quickly, the Guangzhou side needs to input it into the computer, otherwise if you go, you will not be on the list, and the exhibition badge will not be printed. All the salesmen will go, including me, a total of 6 people. Is that okay, Mr. Zhang? Su Qiaxin asked. My idea is to go to everything, whether it's to see the world or not. This time we have 3 booths in total, and there is enough space for people to sit down. Zhang Chen said with a smile, by the way, the standard configuration of the Canton Fair is that every booth a table and 2 steel folding chairs. 3 stalls, my god, Su Qiaxin shouted, Mr. Zhang, where did you get them? But this time, you will join the exhibition group of the Xinjiang Construction Corps and become Xinjiang people, Zhang Chen said with a smile. Then can we put our company's name on our door? Su Qiaxin asked. Okay, if someone asks why a company in Zhejiang comes to the Xinjiang Construction Corps, just say that we are their cooperative unit and everything will be arranged there. Zhang Chen said, we not only have to use our own company's name, we also need to make the booth beautiful. Ji Ling, you bring a designer with you to Guangzhou this time with Su Qiaxin and others to help set up the exhibition. Ji Ling said yes. Also, you too, prepare all the wedding dresses and clothing for the exhibition tomorrow and prepare to send them to Guangzhou, Zhang Chen said. How many days will it take to send it to Guangzhou? Especially the wedding dress can't be folded, Ji Ling said, I don't know if we can make it in time. How about sending our own car there? Look for Wu Ziyawai and ask him for first-level protection and deliver it on time, Lu Ligan said. I am probably very nervous about the air tickets from Hangzhou to Guangzhou during this period. If I can't buy the air tickets, I really have to ask for them. The driver of my company will drive you there in a van. Yes, the air tickets and hotel will be booked tomorrow. You'd better try to fly there. If the air tickets from Hangzhou to Guangzhou are gone, you can buy one from Shanghai to Guangzhou and we can take them to Shanghai by plane. Guangzhou is too far. If you drive, Zhang Chen did not continue. Lu Ligan knew that he wanted to say that if they encountered the same thing they encountered last time in Guizhou on the road, they would be in trouble. Lu Lepole nodded. Zhang Chen clapped his hands and said, quick, quick, think about it again, what else are you missing? We are missing a picture album in Chinese and English. It is best to have one with our latest products and renderings of our new factory. This can best show the strength of our company, Su Qiaxin said. Only when we have a picture album for customers can we deepen our understanding of the situation. Customers' impression of our company means that when they have needs, they will be the first to contact us. You're right, Qiaxin, Zhang Chen said. There are still a few days left. Is it too late to make a picture album? Ji Ling asked. We all have the pictures, which are the design and printing. We should be able to make it in time. But if we can't, we will ship part of the album and you can take part with you. In this way, when the ones you brought have been distributed and the ones you have checked have arrived, the entire exhibition period lasts for 12 days. Woolen cloth. Zhang Chen couldn't care less as he said that. He immediately called Chu Tianlin and said to Chu Tianlin, Sister Tianlin, I am going to attend the Canton Fair. Can you help me print out the album in 3 days? Chu Tianlin said that printing and binding can be done in a hurry. The problem is that the paper size must be determined before feeding the paper. The paper is not that fast. No, just use the existing paper in your warehouse. You tell me the pattern. I will design the manuscript at night based on this size. You can make the pattern tomorrow, Zhang Chen said. Okay, Zhang Chen, tell me the print run and page number. I'll take a look at what's available in the warehouse and see what matches. I'll use it first and then replace it. The paper in Chu Tianlin's warehouse had already been ordered by other albums. Zhang Chen needed it urgently, so he had to use other people's paper first. I want it to be thicker so that it will have weight when customers hold it in their hands. It will only have 48 pages and will be printed in 20,000 copies, Zhang Chen said. For 48 pages, the format should not be too small, so it should be 12 format, Chu Tianlin said, 889 times 1194 in 12 format. Zhang Chen, use this. Renmi has a picture album of paper, which just arrived yesterday. It's just right for use, less than 20,000 copies, 18,000 copies. Yes, Sister Tianlin, 18,000 volumes are also acceptable, Zhang Chen said. Okay, let's use this size, 889 times 1194 in 12 kilobytes. Have you remembered it? Chu Tianlin asked. Okay, thank you, Sister Tianlin. Thank you. I have nothing to say about my family, Chu Tianlin said. After putting down the phone, Zhang Chen said to Ji Ling and Su Qiaxin, forget it, you don't have to go to sleep. Prepare the information immediately. I will design the design tonight. Yes, the photos of the wedding dress. If they are not enough, Qiaxin, you can call Lin Shuwen and ask her to deliver it. Sister Shuwen must come. After I have translated the English, I also want her to check it over, Su Qiaxin said. Okay, then you call her, Zhang Chen said. Okay, this is going to be a big deal, and it will ruin old Tang's dream of being a Mandarin duck, Lu Ligan shouted, and everyone laughed. Would you like me to do something for you? Zhang Chen said. No, I'm going to buy supper, Lu Ligan stood up and said. Zhang Chen smiled and said, I was originally going to send you to buy supper. Lu Ligan glared at him, and the others laughed. Tan Shahen said, I'll go with you. Ji Ling, Qiaxin, what do you want to eat, McDonald's or seafood fried rice noodles? Both said they wanted McDonald's, and Lu Ligan and Tan Shahen walked out. Zhang Chen took a pen and paper, walked to the conference table and sat down, ready to start designing the album. Not long after he sat down, someone knocked on the door and Zhang Chen said, come in. The door opened, and Chu Tianlin came in. Zhang Chen shouted, Sister Tianlin, why are you here? I'll do it with you, so that it can be finalized immediately without any changes. Tomorrow morning, Tianjian can arrange it, and try to get on the plane in the evening, so that it can be bound the day after tomorrow. Is that okay in 2 days? Zhang Chen was overjoyed and quickly said thank you to Sister Tianlin. In the picture album, you only included clothing and wedding dresses, right? Chu Tianlin asked. Zhang Chen is right. There is a format you can refer to. It is an inverted version. There is no back cover. There are covers on both sides. On one side is the wedding dress and on the other side is the clothing. You turn it in from the clothing side, then to the middle. When it is turned upside down, the wedding dress starts. The same goes for turning it in from the wedding dress side, Chu Tianlin said. That's good, Sister Tianlin, Zhang Chen said with a smile, just follow the form you said. Ji Ling and Su Qiaxin came in with a lot of pictures and photos. Now it was too late to make reverse films of all the products, so they could only use ready-made photos and pictures. Chu Tianlin began to select, and she eliminated the pictures and photos that she thought were not clear enough and would affect the quality of the album. The remaining ones were given to Zhang Chen for his selection and layout. After a while, Lin Shuwen and Lao Tang also arrived, bringing photos of wedding dresses and t-shirts, which were also eliminated by Chu Tianlin first. When Lu Ligan and Tan Shahan came back, they had selected all the photos that should be used, and Zhang Chen could officially start the layout design. Lu Ligan originally wanted to drag old Tang to his room to brag and look at the company Zhang Chen had just written on the table. In the introduction, Lu Ligan scolded, "What the hell, it's nonsense, it's like it was written by an illiterate." Before Zhang Chen said "You are great, come here," he felt that he must be better than Zhang Chen in doing this kind of thing. He sat down and started writing the company profile again. When he was finished, he handed it over to Su Qiaxin and Lin Shuwen. "Just translate it into English." They were busy until about 4 o'clock. Zhang Chen designed the entire design draft. Su Qiaxin and Lin Shuwen also translated everything that needed to be translated. Su Qiaxin also typed out the Chinese and English drafts on the computer and copied a copy at the same time. The floppy disk was handed over to Chu Tianlin together with the printed manuscript and the floppy disk. Chu Tianlin put all the drawings, pictures, and manuscripts into a file bag, looked at the watch, and said to Zhang Chen, "Yes, I thought it would take until dawn, but it was faster than I expected." Zhang Chen thought about it, and he said to Lu Ligan, "Call Lao Tan and see if the floor he has poured sand on has been poured. It should be done soon. Thanks for the tip that makes reading a book feel different. Thank you for my monthly ticket from 130221184047110, a fat man and book friend who is a potential stock. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good night everyone." The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1178. Zhang Chen got up after sleeping for a few hours. When he arrived at the office, Ji Ling and Su Qiaxin were already waiting for him. Their eyes were red. Zhang Chen turned on the computer and saw that in the mailbox, Sun Ho had already put the form. He was given one copy of the information to be filled out by the company, and another copy of the information for the exhibitors. Sun Ho also sent him the phone number of the contact person of the Xinjiang Construction Corps Exhibition Group and asked Zhang Chen and his team leaders to contact him. Zhang Chen immediately printed out the form and asked Su Qiaxin and Ji Ling to fill it out. After filling it out, it was sent by express mail in the morning. At the same time, he gave the contact number to Su Qiaxin and asked her to contact him by phone. The Canton Fair officially opens on April 15. The 13th and 14th are the time for setting up the exhibition. There are no air tickets from Hangzhou to Guangzhou on the 12th. Su Qiaxin and the others can only book the flight from Shanghai to Guangzhou until the afternoon of the 12th of air tickets. After finishing the work here, Su Qiaxin and Ji Ling immediately went to Sanbeo and Kiasi factories to sort out the samples to be sent to Guangzhou. Wu Ziyawai had already sent a car and was waiting at Sanbeo factory to send them to Guangzhou. There are not only clothing and wedding dresses, but also models, props, and hangers for samples in the stalls. Their models are all custom made. If you go to Guangzhou to buy them temporarily, you may not be able to find the right one. Especially the clothes and trousers rack, which has their company's logo printed on it, must be sent from the factory. The wedding dress must be hung on the way. Wuzai modified a van and sent it there, from the Sanbeo factory. After loading the goods, we set off directly to Guangzhou. At that time, there was no expressway when going from Hangzhou to Guangzhou, but they were all construction sites of expressways. There were serious traffic jams on the road. Kuzhou, Yingtan, Ganzhou, and Shaoguan were all jams. It was expected to take 3 days and we would arrive on the night of the 12th Guangzhou. Zhang Chen told Su Qiaxin that he must come back at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or go directly to Sister Tianlin's factory in Gongchen Qiao from the factory. In the afternoon, the sample album will come out and they will go over to proofread it. Su Qiaxin looked a little dizzy. Zhang Chen told her that the more times like this, the less anxious she should be. Be calm and careful. If anything goes wrong in any link, there will be no time to recover. Okay, Mr. Zhang, I understand, Su Qiaxin said. Also, when you get in the car, take the time to sleep for a while. Your mind will be clear when you wake up. Zhang Chen, Su Qiaxin, and Ji Ling said, you two are the same. The two people nodded quickly. After Ji Ling and Su Qiaxin left, Zhang Chen called Sun Ho and told him that the forms had been sent and he had also contacted Xinjiang. Thank you, Ho, and thanks Yao Huang and the others for me too. It's a small matter, Zhang Chen. Sun Ho said, by the way, your people are going to Guangzhou. If there is any emergency there, ask them to call Nu Huang directly. Her second brother will go there on the 14th. I will attend the opening ceremony on the 15th and will stay there for 2 more days. Zhang Chen said, okay, I understand, monkey. Zhang Chen walked to the sofa, sat down and wanted to lean on it. His cell phone rang. He looked at it and saw that the number was no longer unfamiliar. It was Hui Huan. He picked up the call. Hui Huan said on the phone, Brother Zhang, let me tell you, I made more than 1,600 yesterday. Zhang Chen was not surprised, but he couldn't tell her, I know, I came to your store twice yesterday. Zhang Chen smiled and said, that's really good, come on. Yeah, I will, Brother Zhang. Hui Huan said, hey, Brother Zhang, why do you sound a little tired? Can you hear this? Zhang Chen said with a smile, it's nothing. I had to work overtime last night and didn't get much sleep. Oh, Brother Zhang, please rest. I won't talk to you anymore, Hui Huan said quickly. In the afternoon, Zhang Chen and Su Qiaxin arrived at Chu Tianlin's factory and waited for a while before the sample came out. The two of them proofread it, especially the Chinese and English text. After confirming that it was correct, Chu Tianjian immediately arranged for the Heidelberg Speedmaster to be installed. SM52. By the afternoon of the next day, 18,000 picture albums had been printed. Zhang Chen was unsure and asked Chu Tianlin, how many picture albums would an average company bring to the Canton Fair? Chu Tianlin didn't know this either. She immediately called Lao Ni. Lao Ni said, if you send it to everyone who comes in, 20,000 to 30,000 copies will be given away in more than 10 days, but we usually don't do this. Some are not relevant, and I won't give it to customers who come in to see the excitement. We usually bring 5,000 copies. Zhang Chen and Su Qiaxin discussed and decided to bring 8,000 copies. Even if they couldn't finish them off, they could still send them back together with the clothing samples. Zhang Chen asked Chu Tianlin's factory truck to deliver 12,000 copies to his company, and asked Wu Kai to send someone to take away 6,000 copies. When Su Qiaxin and the other 8 left from Shanghai, they carried 2,000 picture albums to Guangzhou. In this way, even if the ones from Wu Kai were not delivered 2 days ago, These 2,000 volumes should be enough. The picture album was printed, and 1 day later, it was the 12th, and Su Qiaxin and the others needed to be sent to Shanghai. Zhang Chen asked Xiao Sheng to drive a bullet, and he also drove the car to send them to Shanghai in person. At Pudong Airport, after checking in their luggage and watching them pass the security check, Zhang Chen suddenly felt a little uneasy. This was the entire main force of his foreign trade company, but they seemed to be rushed by him before they were ready. Now that they are on the battlefield, I don't know how they will fare in the Canton Fair. But now that they have gone into battle, let's just leave it to fate. Fortunately, looking at Su Qiaxin and the others, they all looked fearless. They were more excited and expectant than nervous. This made Zhang Chen feel like he was old for an instant. On the way back to Hangzhou, Zhang Chen stopped by Erhuo to have a look. When he got on the highway again and passed Tongxiang, his cell phone rang. Zhang Chen picked it up. It was Su Qiaxin. Qiaxin said to him, "Mr. Zhang, we have arrived at the hotel. I have also contacted the person from Xinjiang. I have to ask him about many things I don't understand. We have made an appointment to have dinner together." Zhang Chen said yes, don't forget to thank them when the time comes, and Qiaxin, remember we pay the bill. Su Qiaxin said yes, I understand, Mr. Zhang. At about 8 o'clock in the evening, Su Qiaxin called Zhang Chen again and said that they had just separated from the Xinjiang people and everything had been settled. They would also start setting up the exhibition tomorrow. Their booth was very large, with 16 booths. It is a large space together. When setting up the exhibition, if we need anything, we can go directly to them to get it. Also, Mr. Zhang, tonight, they are still paying the bill. I want to pay but they won't let me, saying that they have the funds. Besides, boss, why are you so awesome? Do you even know the minister? Su Qiaxin called Road. What are you talking about? Zhang Chen asked. That's what they said. They said that our 3 stalls were called by Minister Huang and introduced to us by Minister Huang. Of course they will help. Okay, I understand, is there anything else? Zhang Chen asked quickly. No, we're just waiting for our things to arrive in the evening, Su Qiaxin said. At around 6 o'clock in the morning on the 13th, Zhang Chen was woken up by the ringing of his cell phone. When he saw it was Su Qiaxin, his heart skipped a beat. Calling him at this time would definitely mean nothing good happened, so Zhang Chen quickly picked up the phone. I'm sorry, Mr. Zhang, for waking you up. I just couldn't bear it anymore, Su Qiaxin called anxiously. It's okay, Qiaxin, what happened? Our goods have not arrived yet. Ah, Zhang Chen was surprised. It's impossible. Counting the time, it should be here anyway. Zhang Chen and Su Qiaxin said, will he call you? You didn't hear it? He has actually arrived in Guangzhou. Impossible, Mr. Zhang, I was waiting for the call last night and didn't sleep well. Besides, there were no missed calls on my mobile phone, Su Qiaxin said. Okay, Qiaxin, don't worry, I'll call Wu Ziyawai and ask, Zhang Chen said. Zhang Chen immediately called Wu Ziyawai. When Wu Ziyawai and Wei Venfang heard about this, they both woke up. Wu Ziyawai said, it's impossible, Mr. Zhang. Logically, he should have arrived. Can you contact the driver? Zhang Chen asked. If we can't be contacted on the road, they will report to the company every time they go to a place, Wu Ziyawai said. Is it possible that he has arrived in Guangzhou but forgot Qiaxin's contact information? It's impossible. Then he will call back, Mr. Zhang. I'll look for him right away to see if the Guangzhou company knows about the situation. Zhang Chen said yes. After hanging up the phone, Xiao Zhao sat up next to him. Both of them had lost their sleepiness. They could only sit there and wait dryly for Wu Ziyawai to call back. Other than that, they had no other option. The two waited for more than an hour. Wu Ziyawai called and explained anxiously. Zhang Chen probably figured it out. Wu Ziyawai said that after their driver passed Ganzhou, there was a driver coming from Shaoguan. He told him that Shaoguan was building expressways in the past and the traffic jam was so severe that it would not be possible to reach Guangzhou in a day, so they changed. We found the road and headed towards the source of the river. Unexpectedly, after the car left Heiwan and drove for more than half an hour, the car broke down and the transmission shaft was broken. Don't worry, Mr. Zhang. Fortunately, everyone is fine and the goods are fine. It was late at night, and it was in the wilderness. They couldn't find a place to make a phone call. The two of them didn't dare to leave the car. They could only wait until dawn. One person would look at the car there, and the other person would go back to Heiwan County and make a phone call. Return. How long does it take to get from Heiwan to Guangzhou? Zhang Chen asked. Wu Ziyawai said, for more than 4 hours. I have asked them to see if they can find a repair shop in Heiwan that has parts. They can bring the parts for repair. But for the drive shaft, general repair shops will not have it in stock. They have to wait for the manufacturer. Send it here, Mr. Zhang. Don't worry, I've asked the Guangzhou company to send a car there. If not, they will pick up the goods on the road. Okay, Wu Ziyawai, I understand. After hanging up the phone, Zhang Chen calculated that it took more than 4 hours to go from Guangzhou and more than 4 hours to go back. There was still time for unloading and loading. It would take this evening to wait for the things to arrive in Guangzhou. Zhang Chen immediately called Su Qiaxin and told her the matter. When Su Qiaxin heard this, she became anxious and shouted, "What should we do? Mr. Zhang, we can't even decorate the exhibition hall today." Don't be anxious, Qiao Xin, this will not affect the exhibition arrangement. You ask Ji Ling and the others to decorate the exhibition hall today, including the door and everything. The exhibition hall is decorated today, and the things will arrive in the evening. Tomorrow, we will just put out samples. That's enough time. Okay, I understand, Mr. Zhang, Su Qiaxin said. Thank you to Dal Tin Soldier and Riri Shushu for the reward. Thank you to Mo Shwilan, Zongkai 727, Qian Dad, Fantasy in the Wind, Girl Killer VIP, Yuju, Kingbo, PCM 600812, 6440483335 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1179. Su Qiaxin and the others finally caught up with the Canton Fair. When Zhang Chen watched the news about the opening of the Canton Fair on TV, he wanted to capture his company's booth from the flashing lens, but it was impossible. The exhibition hall of the Canton Fair was it is too big and there are too many exhibitors. However, Lu Ligan pointed to a guest standing on the rostrum of the opening ceremony and told Zhang Chen that he, just him, was Xiao Wang's second brother. Only then did Zhang Chen realize that he was in a hurry. He was the one who caught the Canton Fair train. Lu Ligan had met Xiao Wang's second brother. When he went to Beijing to discuss the demolition of the Hangcheng oil refinery, Xiao Wang's second brother and Sun Ho's eldest brother both showed up. Lu Ligan described to Zhang Chen the scene when they entered the box left a deep memory for Zhang Chen. Now, one of these two people is on TV and the other is the boss in Qingdao. When Su Qiaxin talked to Zhang Chen on the phone at night, her voice was almost hoarse. She said to Zhang Chen excitedly, "Mr. Zhang, there are too many people. It's worth our time to come. Each of us has collected more than 100 business cards. Mr. Zhang, let me tell you, almost all the companies and customers we can name have always been there. All the customers who wanted to contact but could not be contacted were met this time. It turns out that they come to the Canton Fair every year. We ourselves have to distribute almost 2 boxes of business cards a day. It took us a long time to find out that other people's booths always put the business cards and picture albums together. Just like that, use a stapler or paper clip to staple the business cards to the cover of the picture album. So that when people go back and look at the album, they will know who to contact. Haha, we are so stupid, but we did it right away. Afterwards, Sukioxen sighed again, so the Canton Fair is like this. Sukioxen's emotions also infected Zhang Chen. He couldn't help but laugh as he held the phone. On the third day, Sukioxen called Zhang Chen again. As soon as the call came through, she laughed on the other end of the phone. Zhang Chen was puzzled by her smile and asked her, "What do you want to say?" "I don't know either, Mr. Zhang, wait, I'll laugh for a while." Zhang Chen also smiled and said, "You don't know, so you still called me." No, Mr. Zhang, I'm telling you, wait, I'm telling you, Mr. Zhang." Sukioxen finally laughed enough, and then said to Zhang Chen, "This afternoon, Mr. Zhang, a man came over. He was very impressive. He discussed business with me seriously. He asked questions, but refused to say where he was from. He seemed to be very mysterious. I talked with him for more than 10 minutes. He finally told me that he was a buyer for Target. It turns out that they also come to the Canton Fair every year. I told him that our company is already their supplier. Jessica and Jerry have also been to our company. Mr. Zhang, haha, didn't you see his embarrassing look? The expression is so fun." Zhang Chen laughed and scolded, "This guy is so bureaucratic that he doesn't even know what his company is selling." "That's right. There are thousands of suppliers, how could they all know about it?" Sukioxen spoke for the other party. On April 10, the real estate fair in Hangzhou ended. In the days leading up to the opening of the land auction on the 18th, Lu Ligan and the others were most relaxed. On the morning of the 16th, neither Lu Ligan nor Tan Shahen went to the company. But waiting for Zhang Chen, and as soon as he arrived, he would take him to the construction site in Xiaosha to have a look. Zhang Chen has also been busy with the Canton Fair these days and hasn't been there for several days. He doesn't even know what the floor slab on the second floor will look like after it is poured. Lu Ligan's Aston Martin could only seat 2 people, so naturally he drove Zhang Chen's car. Lu Ligan took the key from Zhang Chen's hand and said, "Come on, let me give it a try what a classic car feels like." On a whim, Zhang Chen asked Lu Ligan for the keys to the Aston Martin. He said, "Let me try out what it feels like to be a slut." Lu Ligan's original white Mercedes-Benz, which Zhang Chen and others called Sayabao Ben, was replaced by an Aston Martin. When Wu Zayawai saw it, the first thing he said was Sayabao. The nickname of this car came out, Sayabao Ben Bao Aston Martin, with the abbreviation adding homophony, it becomes Saobao. The 3 of them went downstairs. Tan Shahen did not go to the Audi A8 with Lu Ligan, but followed Zhang Chen to the Aston Martin. Lu Ligan looked at her in confusion. Tan Shahen said, "Xiao Zhao is not here, I want to go with him." Zhang Chen shows off. Zhang Chen laughed. They opened the car and drove past in a swaggering manner. Passers-by turned around. Zhang Chen and Tan Shahen said that they were all calling it, saying cool. This car was indeed a coquettish car. Tan Shahen smiled and said, "It's true. I don't dare to sit in more formal occasions." Zhang Chen turned to look at her and teased her, "What are you afraid of? Are you afraid that people will say that a handsome man, a beautiful woman, a beautiful car, a perfect match?" You," Tan Shahen scolded, "now I am a handsome man, a beautiful woman, a beautiful car, and I am worthy of you." Zhang Chen laughed. After the floor slab on the second floor of the factory was poured, The factory building happened to face road number 1. From a distance, they saw a winding stretch of land at the end of the road, like a shadow of a mountain. Tan Shahen sighed, "Zhang Chen, did you see it? This is too big. Spectacular." Zhang Chen also became excited. Isn't this exactly the momentum he wanted? Then he arrived on the second floor. When he got to the third floor, he waited for the corrugated aluminum panels outside to be installed. When the sun shined, that beauty was really magnificent. The momentum of the teaching building of Hangzhou Normal University next to it was suppressed in an instant. This corner of garbage that everyone originally disliked will definitely become the most eye-catching corner of Xiaosha. They drove into the construction site and saw Lao Tan's car parked here. Zhang Chen parked the car next to Lao Tan's car. After a while, Lu Ligan also arrived. When he got out of the car, he cursed, "Zhang Chen, your crappy car is not good enough. No matter how hard I chase you, I can't catch you. I'll eat shit all the way." "Fart," Zhang Chen cursed. He was not convinced anymore. "Go back later and see how I can catch up with you." The three people walked along a slope made of bamboo to the second floor. Lu Ligan shouted, "It's so big that you can play football here. Zhang Chen, look at this large area. It's really as big as several football fields." Zhao Zhigang's feet are swollen when he walks from one end to the other every day. Zhang Chen and Tan Shahen laughed. Lao Tan saw them coming up from a distance and walked over. When he heard Lu Ligan's words, he pointed to the steel bars that stood upright one by one and said, "When the floor slab was just poured, these pillars were not up yet. You didn't see it? That's what it's called. The roof of the building can even take off and land airplanes." Zhang Chen saw workers tying steel bars in the concave-shaped gap. He asked Lao Tan, "Is the office building going to start too?" Lao Tan was right, but after doing this, doing that again felt like a child playing house. The four people walked from the front of the building to the back of the building. They saw that the foundation in the dormitory area had been poured and the frame was being put up. Lu Ligan asked, "Will there be no problem with the construction period?" Lao Tan said there was no problem. "We also need to consider that in June, it will be the rainy season, and construction will be very troublesome at that time." Tan Shahen said, "There is only more than a month left." Lao Tan said, Zhen, you are right. Zhang Mushan also reminded me. He said that the rainy season in June and July every year is the most annoying time, and it happens to be the time when we are rushing to meet the construction deadline. We have suffered from it in Gentian River. Those big water pumps can't pump water 24 hours a day," Lu Ligan said. Lao Tan nodded and said that before the end of May, we should try to take down the roof of the third floor. Once that is taken down, there is no need to worry about the remaining indoor work. For a small project like an office building, even if we put an awning on top, the bottom can still be cast in place, Lao Tan said. As long as the factory building comes down, it doesn't matter if the office building is delayed, Zhang Chen said. You can work in the factory building first. Even the workers can lay the floor in the workshop first. We don't do much. The conditions in this workshop are much better than those we had back then, Lu Ligan said. You were at that time, before liberation, Lao Tan teased. We still go according to plan and try to win them all together. In this way, the workers will feel comfortable after moving to the new factory. You are right, don't listen to these two old gentlemen, Tan Shahen and Lao Tan said. They walked around on the roof of the building and returned to the front. They saw truckloads of square pipes coming in at the gate below. Zhang Chen asked, so quickly, have the exterior wall builders also entered? Lao Tan is right. These square steel pipes are used to support and install corrugated aluminum plates. They are interwoven into small squares horizontally and vertically outside the cement frame. The corrugated aluminum plates are installed on these square pipes with rivets. After the roof of the second floor has been poured, the construction unit can come in and start installing the first floor brackets, which is also a large and time-consuming project. Lao Tan looked at his watch and said to them, "How about it? Let's eat here at noon. There is a local restaurant here on number 1 road ahead. It tastes very good." Zhang Chen was happy when he heard this. He probably thought that Lao Tan was referring to Hui Huan's local restaurant. Unexpectedly, Lao Tan had become her regular customer. Before Lu Ligan could talk to Tan Shahan, Zhang Chen said, "Okay, I ate here." The four of them took Lao Tan's jeep and went out. Sure enough, they drove to the entrance of Hui Huan local food restaurant and stopped. Lao Tan walked at the front and Zhang Chen walked at the back. Hui Huan at the counter greeted Lao Tan when she saw him. He came out and shouted, "Mr. Tan, you are here, welcome." Hui Huan was stunned for a moment when she saw Zhang Chen walking at the end. Zhang Chen shook his head slightly towards her. Hui Huan understood. She leaned over and whispered in Ah Chiao's ear, and both of them pretended not to know Zhang Chen. "Morning look." Zhang Chen was indifferent on the surface, but he couldn't help but want to laugh in his heart. Lao Tan and Hui Huan said, "I still want a soybean stewed with pig's feet. They are very good at eating spicy food." "Hui Huan, please give them the spiciest ones." Hui Huan said yes. Zhang Chen walked to the door of the kitchen and looked inside. He saw stinky tofu on the shelf with vegetables. He said, "I want some fried stinky tofu with green peppers." Hui Huan looked at him, as if she couldn't help it anymore, and smiled, "Okay, I understand." The four people entered the inner room and sat down at the table near the glass. Platefuls of vegetables and casseroles came up one by one. Lu Ligan and Tan Shahan tasted them and shouted that they were delicious. Zhang Chen could only follow them. Lao Tan looked at them and said proudly, "How about it? I knew you would like it." No, Zhang Chen, this place will also become our stronghold in the future." Lu Ligan nodded and said, "Thank you for the reward for the 2 fish, 1 above and the third from top to bottom. Thank you to Pai Wuzan, Arong to Culture a Ding, a Have a Safe Journey, Purple Hay and Chi and Dad for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone." The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1180. Before the Canton Fair ended, Su Kioxin came back first with 4 customers. One of these 4 customers was from Australia, one from the United Kingdom, one from Ireland, and one from Germany. Su Kioxin met them at the Canton Fair. They returned the air tickets have been bought, and they were asked to take advantage of the exhibition period to fly to the factory to have a look. Su Kioxin took them back first. Originally, Ge Ling finished setting up the exhibition and waited for the opening of the Canton Fair. She spent 2 days at the exhibition and then returned to Hangzhou. But when Su Kioxin wanted to leave, she asked Ge Ling to stay in Guangzhou, even though Ge Ling didn't know anything about foreign trade. Business, but if she leaves, the remaining salesmen will feel leaderless. These salesmen all graduated from school and have just entered the society. One of them is still in the internship stage and will graduate this year. They can chat with customers online, but their social experience is relatively shallow and they don't know how to communicate with real people. Dealing with people. The hotel they stayed in was on Donglingxia Road, which was still in the city center, but if there was no one to take them with them, they would not even dare to go out to a food stall for a late-night snack if they were hungry at night. Ge Ling called Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen was also worried about this group of older children who were unfamiliar with the place in Guangzhou. If anything happened, he would let Ge Ling stay there. When these guests arrived in Hangzhou, they went straight from the airport to their Sanbao factory to have a look, to the Kiasi factory to have a look, and then to the Xiaosha new factory under construction to confirm that what was introduced in their brochure real. Of these 4 customers, 3 were wedding dress customers and 1 was a clothing customer. After seeing the factory, Zhang Chen invited them to have dinner at Tianxiang building. After dinner, they would discuss the contract with Su Qiaxin and return to the hotel to meet with them respectively. My domestic contacts placed orders the next morning. The four of them only stayed in Hangzhou for one night. In the afternoon of the next day, they went back to Guangzhou with Su Qiaxin. At this time, Zhang Chen felt that he had tasted the sweetness of that harsh factory inspection, that is, no matter how strict your customers are, even if they visit so suddenly, their factory will hardly need to make any preparations. We can accept customer inspections without any problems. Zhang Chen has already thought about it. After moving to the new factory, not only can he not relax in this aspect, but he must continue to strengthen it. When running a business, you really can't be vain at all. To what extent is your business, and what are your products? To what extent? Su Qiaxin returned to Guangzhou, and Ji Ling came back. After Ji Ling came back, she reported to Zhang Chen and learned a lot. Not only were there many garment factories at the Canton Fair, it stimulated her a lot. In particular, there are many textile companies. When she had nothing to do, she walked around the exhibition area, which not only broadened her horizons, but also gained a lot of business cards and fabric samples. These textile companies participating in the Canton Fair did not refuse to receive domestic people at the Canton Fair. Client Ji Ling said that she had never seen many of their products before. Zhang Chen looked through the fabric samples Ji Ling brought back and felt like he had walked into the Sijiking fabric market for the first time and walked into Cai Jingxiang's stall. He had the same feeling, full of surprises. If he hadn't known it in advance, he would have felt the same. I don't believe that these fabrics are actually produced by domestic companies. It seems that the entire domestic textile industry is making progress. And I don't know it yet, and I still think that the fabric market in Qiqiao is the entire domestic textile industry. I don't know that many fabric factories have left the fabric market just like I left the Sijiking clothing market. Directly targeting the mid to high-end ready-to-wear market. Zhang Chen and Ji Ling said, it seems that people still need to broaden their horizons. From now on, the people in your design center, like Qiaxin and others, still need to go out more, attend more exhibitions, and work behind closed doors. Be careful. Suffocate yourself to death. Ji Ling said yes. When Zhang Chen said this, he felt that he was talking about himself. He was no longer as attentive and focused as when he first made clothes, and he was so sensitive to capture all new information. He sat down now when designing products. I also feel that many times I am repeating my previous designs, often with only slight changes. Although the market still buys it, in fact, my excitement has faded. If the things I design cannot surprise me, how can I surprise others? Zhang Chen felt a little ashamed when he thought about it like this. If it weren't for the fact that he now has a larger team of designers than other brands, Zhang Chen himself doesn't know if he would be able to support a brand. When Zhang Chen was in that small house with He Hongmei, he was constantly designing new products every day. If you asked him, he would definitely say with disdain, "What's the point?" But now Zhang Chen asked himself, he felt that he was a little far away from that self. At least, compared to him, the courage of an ordinary man seems to be gone. When you have no ambition to change the world becomes extremely tall in front of you. When you look out, it is no longer a vast sky, but dangerous walls, no matter what the so-called rationality. And so is reason. In fact, they are just self-comfort and ridicule after retreating. Zhang Chen smiled bitterly and shook his head. Ding ding ding. The phone on Zhang Chen's desk rang. He picked it up and heard a voice coming from the phone. Hey, let's go home for dinner tonight and ask Zanzi and Zhen to come too. After saying this, the phone was hung up. Zhang Chen was stunned. The person who had just called him was his father. In Zhang Chen's memory, his father seemed to have never called him. What happened? It was his mother who beat him. Regardless of whether they were in Yongcheng or later in Hangzhou, Jiang Chen would sometimes call home. If it was his father who answered the phone, his father would not ask what was wrong when he heard Jiang Chen's voice. He was holding the phone in his hand and shouting to his mother, "Your son's phone number." Then he heard his mother running over panting. "For the first time, this old man actually called me today and asked them to go back for dinner in the evening, such a trivial matter." Xiao Zhao walked in. Jiang Chen looked at her and asked, "What day is it today?" Xiao Zhao asked doubtfully, "What day? Does anyone have a birthday at home?" Jiang Chen asked. Xiao Zhao thought for a moment and said, "No, what's wrong?" "It's strange," Jiang Chen and Xiao Zhao said. "The old man actually called me just now and asked us, Zhuangzi and Tan Shahan, to go home for dinner." "Your dad, really?" Xiao Zhao also opened her eyes wide. She also knew that for this kind of thing, his mother would definitely hit him in the past, and usually he would not call Jiang Chen, but her. "Is there someone at home coming?" Xiao Zhao asked. "You mean Lao Zhang became Lao Lu?" Jiang Chen asked. Xiao Zhao nodded. Jiang Chen said, "No, have you seen that the old man has any friends? All the people who come to the house are here for my mother. Even my father's old colleagues are here for my mother. They just have someone to take care of. Whatever Lao Zhang is doing, don't worry, he is definitely not Lao Lu. He will get rid of it faster than me, so he won't get involved in these troubles." Xiao Zhao thought about it. This was really the case. Xiao Zhao smiled and said, "Whatever, if you have something to think about, it's not a big deal. You just asked us to go back for dinner. We'll just go back." Jiang Chen was right when he thought about it. At about 5 o'clock, Lu Ligan and Tan Shahan came back. Lu Ligan walked in and shouted, "Jiang Chen, let's go to Xiaosha and eat that local vegetable pot." I was sitting there thinking about it, and my mouth was watering came down. "What a great idea. Lao Zhang called earlier and specifically asked you two to come home with us for dinner," Jiang Chen said. "Ouch, someone sent wild animals," Lu Ligan shouted. As soon as Lu Ligan said this, Jiang Chen suddenly realized that this was the most likely possibility. His father has 2 apprentices. They like to go hunting in the mountains at night with homemade shotguns. There are always a few times a year. If they happen to come to Hangzhou, they will bring wild animals to Jiang Chen's mother, their mistress, is sometimes a wild boar belly, sometimes a yellow muntjac leg, and sometimes 2 wild pheasants. At times like this, his mother would always call and ask them to go back to eat, but today, why did his father call instead? It was a bit strange, but things like this can't be avoided. The 4 of them returned to Jiang Chen's parents' house. When they entered the door, they saw that the round table had been set and the dishes had been served. Xiao Fang, Xiang Nan, and Xiang Bei were sitting there. When they saw them coming in, they all looked at them with frowns. Watching them, Jiang Chen and the others were startled when they came closer. No wonder Xiao Fang and the others were frowning. They saw that the table was full of vegetables, including stir-fried peppers, fried eggplants with sauce, stir-fried lettuce and stir-fried dried celery, spinach and tofu soup, and braised bamboo shoots in oil. Looking at the kitchen, several people were even more shocked. They saw Jiang Chen's father cooking, while his mother stood aside angrily. When he heard that they were back, Jiang Chen's father came out and told them, "Okay, they are all back. Let's try my craft today." Lu Ligan shouted, "Old Jiang, are you too stingy? You invited us to dinner, and there's nothing meaty at all." "Do you want meat dishes?" Jiang Chen's father said. "Yes, I will add scrambled eggs with leeks immediately and the dishes will be ready." "I'll go." "No, Lao Zhang, you used eggs as meat dishes and just sent us away," Lu Ligan said. "What do you know? What are the delicious meat dishes? These are nutritious. Do you see, this table is full of treasures," Jiang Chen's father said. Zhang Chen's mother couldn't bear it anymore and scolded, yes, yes, as long as you grow it, it is a treasure. Only then did Zhang Chen and the others realize that these vegetables were grown in the land behind Peach Blossom Spring. Today was the first big harvest, so his father was so excited that he wanted them all to come back for dinner. Not bad, Lao Zhang, you finally grew vegetables that can be served on the table. However, there are small fish in the stream. Why don't you catch a few and bring them back? Lu Ligan laughed. Zhang Chen's father pointed to the plate of braised bamboo shoots in oil and said, this bamboo shoot is pulled from the mountain next to me. Everyone sat down to eat. Even though the soup was clear and watery, I could only say it was delicious. Xiang Nan and Xiang Bei sat there, refusing to eat. Zhang Chen whispered in their ears, eat quickly. Eat well and take you to KFC. The two of them picked up their chopsticks. While eating, Zhang Chen thought of a serious problem. There were 3/3 of the land, a very big piece. If Lao Zhang moved all the vegetables on the land to his home, then they would have to come back every day and be raised like pigs. Are the vegetables in your fields ripe? Zhang Chen asked. Yes, they are growing well. You can eat as much as you want every day, Zhang's father said excitedly. Zhang Chen looked at Lu Ligan. Lu Ligan seemed to know what he was thinking. Lu Ligan thought for a moment and said, Lao Zhang, the quality of your food is so good. If you do this, we won't be able to come back to eat every day. I'll make a phone call and ask you to sell the food you receive every day directly to our hotel. How about you bring some back to try it yourself, just make it fresh. When Lu Ligan said this, everyone at the table nodded. Zhang Chen said, yes, that's the best. In this way, you can make back all the gas money you spent running around. Thank you San Ran Daxia, Dao Tin Soldier, and RIRI Fanshu for your rewards. Thank you Lao Chentang, Humor Tribe, and Book Friends 1604190107475505 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health.